Na najvećoj vinskoj manifestaciji u regionu Wine Vision by Open Balkan stigle su i mnoge poznate vinarije iz zemalja koje su veliki vinski proizvođači, a na degustaciji vinoteci Wine and Pleasure svoja vina predstavila je legendarna vinarija Chateau Angelus iz Bordeaux u Francuskoj.
It's a family vineyard which has a long history. It's been 240 years, even more than that, this winery been owned by a family, one and only, since 1782. It's the de la Forêt family who owns Chateau Angelus, which is really a rare fact today in Bordou. So Chateau Angelus is located a few steps from Saint-Emilion medieval village, which is UNESCO classified. Really a beautiful place in France.
Njihov vinograd nalazi se u prirodnom amfiteatru na koji gledaju 3 crkve Saint-Emiliona po kojima je vinarija i dobila ime, a zvono kao simbol.
It's one of the top 10 wineries in Bordou, if I may allow this comparison. We have almost 8,000 producers, just to put in perspective, in Bordou. So one of the top 10, and for some reason, so Angelus always been a traditional winery, so it's really an expertise of Bordeaux in this battle, but family made, and this expertise was given from one generation to another, 1 year after another, 1 decade after another. So the vineyard is known by heart, and it's run by 8 generation of the family, a woman. We only had 3 women running Angelus since 1782. So Stéphanie de Bois-Rivoal, who is current owner, she's running the estates now and help with her father, who is a famous enologist and winemaker. He's been an enologist for 80 estates in Bordeaux and around the world. So he's the man who is advising other estates making the wine, but Angelus is his child. So we have a chance to have an expertise of a winemaker and owner in one person as well. So.
Vinarija proizvodi vina koja su klasifikovana kao Premier Grand Cru klasa A.
This is the Grand Vin. It's the main label, Chateau Angelus, where everything has begun. And I'm holding in hands 2014 vintage, which is quite symbolic for us. 10 years old, Angelus, we are in 2024. And it's really special because you have this secondary label here with the number 30. It was the 30th vintage of the winemaker and an enologist, Hubert de Bois. We have a small word of his. On this land where I was born, I signed my 30th vintage. So here you have also a special blend which speaks a lot about Angelus' identity. We have half Merlot, half Cabernet Franc.
Klimatske promene nisu mimoišle ni najpoznatiju vinsku regiju na svetu, ali u Chateau Angelusu su one povezane i sa jednom posebnom pričom.
We have only 2 grapes in the blend, Merlot and Cabernet Franc. And the Cabernet Franc, I go a little bit back on your question to explain why it's affecting the climate change. So Cabernet Franc, we have a long love story with this grape. 100 years ago, the great-grandfather of Stéphanie de Bois-Rivoal, our current manager, married a woman whose name was Elisabeth Boucher. Boucher, you have to know, it's maybe nothing for your ears, but it's really important for Bordeaux region because Boucher is a second name for Cabernet Franc. This man was really in love with this woman and wanted to pay tribute to his wife by planting more Cabernet Franc in the winery. So it started like a love story. So from 20-25% on the vineyard, we went up to half of the vineyard planted by Cabernet Franc, which is huge amount of Cabernet Franc, knowing that it's quite complicated grape to grow, to vinify. And today, this is the grape what we are aiming to plant more in the future and will help us a lot with the global warming. Why? Because we harvested later than Merlot. It needs more time. It gives you more freshness in the wine. It's a backbone of Angelus. It has a lot of minty, menthol notes. It's really refreshing in the glass when you put your nose in it. And then also it has less sugar content, which is important in the future. We have more and more sun, and Merlot, it's the grape, even though we help with our cool soils now in Bordeaux. But in the future, nevertheless, we have more sun. We will have more sun. So Cabernet Franc will allow us to produce more refined wines, more thinner wines. Because if I can compare, Merlot it's more posh, really rich grape. Cabernet Franc is more stylish.
Vino Angelus je bilo zvezda u više od 30 francuskih i međunarodnih filmova, a posebnu slavu stekao je kao omiljeni izbor James Bonda.